The night everything changed. Thunder rolled across the darkened sky as Marcus wiped grease from his hands with an old shop rag. The small garage where he worked barely made enough to keep food on the table, but it was honest work. It was calloused. Fingers traced the wedding photo tucked into his toolbox, 3 years since the accident, and the ache in his chest still felt fresh. "Daddy, are we going home now?" Emma's sweet voice echoed from the corner where she sat coloring in an old book. At 6 years old, she had her mother's bright green eyes and curious spirit. "Just finishing up, sweetheart," Marcus replied, forcing a smile. "Help Daddy pack up the tools?" The rain had started during their drive home, fat droplets splattering against the windshield of his beaten pickup truck. Emma dozed in her car seat, clutching the stuffed rabbit she never went anywhere without. These quiet moments reminded Marcus how alone they really were. It's just him and Emma against the world. A brilliant flash lit up the night sky, brighter than any lightning he'd ever seen. The streak of blue and silver fire tore across the darkness, before disappearing beyond the old Miller farm. Marcus felt his breath catch. That wasn't natural. "Daddy, what was that?" Emma rubbed her sleepy eyes. Probably just a shooting star, baby girl. But deep in his gut, Marcus knew it was something more. After tucking Emma into bed at Mrs. Garcia's house next door, he found himself driving back toward the crash site. Curiosity had always been his weakness. The crater wasn't large, maybe 20 feet across, but what lay inside made Marcus question everything he thought he knew about the universe. A sleek, pod-like craft sat embedded in the earth, its surface shimmering like liquid mercury. Strange symbols pulsed along its hull with an otherworldly glow. Marcus approached cautiously, his mechanic's mind trying to process the impossible technology. Before him, as he drew closer, a section of the craft became transparent, revealing the figure inside. She was breathtaking in a way that made his heart skip. Her skin held a subtle silver luminescence, and long white hair floated around her face. As if suspended in water, she appeared human in shape but distinctly alien in her ethereal beauty. Her eyes suddenly opened, large and violet, filled with intelligence and something that looked like fear. The pod's surface dissolved like morning mist, and she tumbled forward. Marcus lunged to catch her before she hit the ground. She felt surprisingly light in his arms, her skin warm despite the cold rain. Up close, he could see delicate patterns etched into her silver skin, like tiny constellations. "Hey, it's okay," he whispered, though he doubted she could understand. "You're safe now." She looked up at him with those incredible violet eyes, her lips moving in sounds that resembled music more than words. But somehow in that moment, Marcus felt like she was trying to tell him something important without fully understanding why. He wrapped his jacket around her shoulders and carried her to his truck. Whatever she was, wherever she'd come from, she needed help. And Marcus had never been able to turn his back on someone in need. As they drove through the rain toward his small cottage, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that this mysterious woman would change everything about his quiet life. Healing touch, Marcus carried the unconscious woman into his modest cottage, her silver skin almost glowing in the warm lamplight. He settled her on the old couch, pulling a quilt over her delicate frame. She looked so fragile, yet there was something powerful about her presence that filled his small living room. "What am I doing?" he muttered to himself, running a hand through his dark hair. But as he looked at her peaceful face, he knew he couldn't have left her in that crater. She stirred as dawn broke through the kitchen windows. Marcus had spent the night in the armchair across from her, dozing fitfully and starting awake every time she moved. When her violet eyes opened and found his, he felt that same electric connection from the crash site. "Easy," he said softly, raising his hands to show he meant no harm. "You're safe."
Marcus.
She sat up slowly, the quilt falling away to reveal what appeared to be a form-fitting garment made of the same strange material as her crashed pod. She studied him with those mesmerizing eyes, then touched her chest and said something in her musical language. Marcus tried pointing to himself. "Marcus." Then to her with a questioning look, she seemed to understand, touching her own chest. "Zara," she said, the name like wind chimes in the morning breeze. Over the next few days, they began to build a bridge of communication. Zara was a quick learner, picking up English words with remarkable speed. Marcus discovered she was incredibly intelligent, often understanding his meaning before he finished speaking. She helped around the cottage, her touch bringing an almost magical quality to everyday tasks. Plants seemed healthier, food tasted better. Even the old radiators stopped their constant clanking. Emma took to Zara immediately. The little girl would sit beside her for hours, chattering away while Zara listened with infinite patience. Zara learned Emma's name quickly, and Marcus's heart warmed watching them together. His daughter hadn't smiled this much since her mother died. She makes the sad feeling go away, Emma confided to Marcus one evening, as they watched Zara in the garden, where she seemed to make the dying autumn flowers bloom again. Marcus knew exactly what his daughter meant. The first time in years, the cottage felt like a home instead of just a place where they existed. Zara's presence brought light to corners that had been dark for too long. As her English improved, Zara began sharing glimpses of her world. She spoke of a dying planet where the sun grew cold and her people faced extinction. She'd been part of an advanced scout mission, searching for new worlds where they might survive. Your world. So beautiful, she said one evening, as they sat together after Emma had gone to bed. So alive. Marcus found himself studying her profile in the firelight, noting how the glow in her skin seemed to pulse gently with her heartbeat. Why did your ship crash? Zara's expression grew sad. Damage from ... how do you say, space storm? Ship dying, like my world. She looked at him with those incredible eyes. You save me, Marcus. You give me life again. Something in the way she said it made Marcus's pulse quicken. There was a weight to her words he didn't fully understand yet. Understanding heart's weeks passed like a gentle dream. Zara's English blossomed along with her understanding of human ways. She helped Marcus in the garage, her delicate hands surprisingly skilled with tools and machinery. Customers began commenting on how much better their cars ran after she touched them. There's something special about her, old Pete mentioned one afternoon, watching Zara work on an engine with an almost reverent touch. Never seen anything like it. Marcus nodded, though. He kept Zara's true nature secret. The small town of Millbrook was already gossiping. Enough about the mysterious woman living at his place. Evenings became Marcus's favorite time. After Emma went to bed, he and Zara would sit together by the fireplace sharing stories of their different worlds. She told him about her home planets, twin moons, and crystal cities that sang in the wind. He shared memories of his late wife Sarah and how lost he'd felt since her death. Your heart holds much pain, Zara observed one night, her violet eyes reflecting the firelight, like star dying slowly. Marcus felt exposed under her gentle gaze. I haven't been much of a father to Emma, just ... existing, you know? Going through the motions. Zara reached out and placed her hand over his heart. Her touch sent warmth spreading through his chest, and for a moment he could swear he felt his grief begin to ease. Your heart not dying, she whispered, just waiting for right person to help it shine again. The moment stretched between them, heavy with possibility. Marcus found himself leaning closer, drawn by something deeper than mere attraction. Zara's lips parted slightly, her silver skin seeming to glow brighter. Daddy. Emma's sleepy voice broke the spell as she appeared in the doorway, clutching her stuffed rabbit. Bad dream, sweetheart? Marcus asked, quickly moving away from Zara. Dreamed Zara went away, Emma said, tears glimmering in her eyes. She won't go away, will she, Daddy? Zara knelt and gathered Emma into her arms. I stay, she promised, meeting Marcus's eyes over Emma's head. I stay with you and Daddy. Later that night, after Emma had been settled back in bed, Marcus found Zara standing by the kitchen window, looking up at the stars. My people, she said softly, when he joined her. They search for me. Someday they find me, and you'll have to go back. Marcus asked, surprised by how much the thought pained him. Zara turned to face him, her expression serious. Marcus, I must tell you something important about my people's ways. When someone saves life of another, they become, how you say, bonded, connected forever, like friendship. She shook her head, stepping closer. Deeper than friendship, deeper than family. Her voice dropped to a whisper. You save me. By my people's law, You are now my ... mate. My husband. Marcus felt his world tilt. Zara, I know this is strange for you, she continued, her hand finding his. But for a moment you catch me from ship, I feel it. Connection between us. Like two stars pulling each other into same orbit. Marcus looked down at their joined hands, her silver skin contrasting beautifully with his weathered human flesh. The connection she described wasn't one-sided. He'd felt it too, growing stronger each day. I don't understand your laws, he said finally, but I understand what I feel when I look at you. Zara's smile was like sunrise breaking over a dark horizon. Bonds, that bend revelation of Zara's people's bonding customs, changed everything between them. Marcus found himself hyper-aware of every touch, every shared glance. The cottage that had felt spacious now seemed intimate, charged with unspoken possibilities. Tell me more about this bonding, Marcus asked one evening after Emma had fallen asleep between them on the couch while they watched a movie. Zara carefully lifted Emma and carried her to bed, her movements graceful as a dancer's. When she returned, she sat closer to Marcus than before, her silver skin seeming to pulse with soft light. Among my people, bonding is sacred, she began, her voice low and musical. When two souls connect, they share everything, thoughts, feelings, life force. It is deeper than your marriage, more complete. This happens automatically when someone saves your life. It's not automatic, Zara corrected, placing her hand on his chest again. But it creates possibility. The saved one becomes, how you say, open to bonding with Saver, if both hearts willing. Marcus felt his pulse quicken under her touch. And if both hearts are willing? Instead of answering with words, Zara moved closer until she was nearly in his lap. Her violet eyes searched his face with an intensity that made breathing difficult. Marcus, she whispered, I feel your heart calling to mine, every day stronger. Is this wrong? Sarah's been gone for 3 years, Marcus said quietly. I'd never feel this way again. Then you crashed into my world, and everything changed. Zara's free hand cupped his cheek, her thumb tracing his jawline. I not try to replace your Sarah. I only offer my heart to yours, if you want it. The space between them disappeared as Marcus leaned in and kissed her. Her lips were soft and warm, tasting faintly of starlight and promises. When they broke apart, both were breathing hard. The bonding Marcus whispered against her forehead. What does it mean exactly? Zara's cheeks flushed, a deeper silver spreading across her features. For my people, it means to become one in all ways. Hearts, minds, bodies. Souls connected. Across any distance, and you want this? With me, a broken-down human mechanic with a kid? Her laugh was like bells on a summer breeze. You're not broken down? You strong, kind, good father? You saved me in more ways than catching me from ship. Her expression grew serious. But bonding is choice both must make. Cannot be undone once complete. Marcus thought of his quiet life, his struggles to provide for Emma, the loneliness that had become his constant companion. Then he looked at Zara, brilliant, beautiful, otherworldly, yet somehow perfect for him and Emma. Show me, he said. What followed was the most incredible night of Marcus's life. Zara's touch was electric, sending waves of pleasure and connection through every nerve. As their bodies joined, he felt something deeper happening, a merging of souls that left him gasping and changed forever. Her silver skin glowed brighter as their passion built, and Marcus could swear he felt her heartbeat synchronizing with his own. Afterward, as they lay entwined on his bed, Marcus realized he could sense Zara's emotions as if they were his own. The love flowing between them was warm and constant, like a river of starlight. Is it always like this? He asked, stroking. Her hair bonding complete now, Zara murmured sleepily against his chest. We are one, Marcus. Wherever you go, part of me goes too. Whatever you feel, I feel. As dawn approached, Marcus held his alien wife close and marveled at how perfectly she fit in his arms. Emma would be thrilled to learn Zara was staying permanently. Their little family was complete at last. A new beginning 3 months after the bonding, Marcus woke to find Zara standing at the bedroom window, her silver skin pale with worry. Through their connection, he felt her anxiety immediately. "What's wrong?" he asked, moving to stand behind her. "They come," she whispered, pointing to the sky where several bright lights moved in perfect formation. "My people, they find me." Marcus's heart clenched. Despite their bonding, he'd always feared this day might come. "What does this mean for us?" Before Zara could answer, Emma burst into the room, her face pressed to the window. "Daddy, look at the pretty lights. Are they shooting stars?" "Something like that, sweetheart," Marcus said, lifting her up. Through their bond, he felt Zara's internal conflict. Joy at seeing her people again, but devastating sadness at the thought of leaving. The ships landed in the same field where Marcus had found Zara's pod. Elegant figures in flowing robes emerged, their silver skin marking them as Zara's kind. Their leader was a tall woman with intricate patterns etched across her face and hands. "Zara, daughter of the twilight stars," the leader called in their musical language. "We have searched across the void for you. The council believes you dead." "I live, Commander Nix," Zara replied, her hand finding Marcus's. But I am no longer the same person who left our dying world." Commander Nix's violet eyes widened as she noticed the connection between Zara and Marcus. "You have bonded with a human." Her tone carried surprise, but not disapproval. "He saved me, gave me new life, new purpose." Zara stepped forward proudly. "I claim him as my eternal mate, and his daughter is my own." Murmurs rippled through the assembled aliens. Commander Nix studied Marcus with intense interest. "The bonding cannot be undone, even for the good of our people. You would abandon your duty to our race for this human." "I would expand my duties," Zara said firmly. "Earth could be salvation for our people. Humans are kind, resilient, capable of great love. We could build alliance instead of seeking conquest." Emma tugged on Marcus's shirt. "Daddy, is Zara going away?" "Never, little star." Zara knelt beside Emma, switching to English. "I stay with you and Daddy forever, I promise." Commander Nix observed this interaction carefully. After a long moment, she spoke again. "The council sent me to retrieve you, but I see now that would be impossible. Your bond is true and strong, perhaps. Perhaps this human world offers hope? For our future, after all? You would consider peaceful contact?" Marcus asked, surprised to find himself at the center of intergalactic diplomacy. "Mate speaks truly of human potential," Nix replied. "We are scientists and explorers, not conquerors. If Zara believes humans could be allies in our survival, then we must investigate this possibility." Over the following weeks, a small group of Zara's people established a hidden research station near Millbrook. They observed human society with growing appreciation for mankind's creativity and resilience. Marcus found himself serving as an unofficial ambassador, helping facilitate understanding between the species. "Daddy, are we space explorers now?" Emma asked one evening, as they watched Zara work on improving their old pickup truck with alien technology. "We're a family, sweetheart," Marcus replied. "Just a bigger family than we used to have." Zara looked up from the engine, her silver skin glowing with happiness. Through their bond, Marcus felt her complete contentment. She had found her place in the universe, not as a refugee from a dying world, but as the heart of a growing family that bridged species. Months later, as the first human-alien cultural exchange programs began, Marcus often reflected on that stormy night when his quiet life changed forever. He'd thought he was rescuing a crashed stranger, but Zara had rescued him right back from loneliness, from despair, from a half-life of merely existing now. Watching Emma play with young aliens while Zara worked beside him in the garage, Marcus knew they'd built something beautiful together. Their love story had become the foundation for a friendship between worlds, proving that sometimes the most extraordinary adventures begin with simple acts of kindness. "Thank you," he whispered to Zara as they stood together under Earth's stars. "For what?" she asked, though their bond meant she already knew. "For choosing us, for staying, for making our family complete." Zara's kiss tasted of starlight and forever. Promises sealing their bond once again under the vast cosmic sky that had brought them together.